Wright, Brandon Marshall, Kevin Wildes, and we come on the air this morning with significant concerns over the future of this NBA season. That after the events that took place yesterday. We have a lot to cover today and a lot to get to. Let's get started with the biggest news of this morning. The NBA and the Players Association announcing the Milwaukee Bucks decision not to play last night. That in response to the shooting of Jacob Blake by police in the Bucks' home state of Wisconsin. It sparked unity among the teams scheduled to play last night, resulting in the cancellation of all of last night's games, the entire schedule. Just a few hours later, players gathered in the bubble to discuss the best path moving forward. Sean reported that during this meeting, the players from the Lakers and Clippers voted to boycott the remainder of the playoffs. There's a lot to get to here this morning. Brandon, I want to start with you. What was your reaction to how yesterday played out?
Yeah, Jenna, I think I should start with the seat that I feel like I need to occupy. Making this transition from NFL player to now full-time broadcaster, you know, you think about, okay, what is my identity? Who am I? What seat do I occupy? And when I thought about that, you know, a month ago when you guys gave me this opportunity, the first thing that came to mind was you have to be organic and tell the player's story always. I don't care if you're 50 years old and you're still on TV, you got to tell the player's story. So I think about the athlete and I think about how what we're seeing is counterculture to who we are. It's not in our DNA to not play. Think about all the stories that we've heard over the years since we've been covering sports, playing sports about the athlete. Football, basketball, tennis, baseball. It's my sanctuary, it's my escape. We see this in avid runners. I run to get away, to break stress. So for an athlete not to play says a lot. The very things that they have been escaping to the gym to get away from are the things that they're using the court to talk about and to highlight. It's not in our culture to not play. We've always had this mentality, this machismo mentality of whatever's happening at home, whatever's happening in our neighborhood, it doesn't matter. We play. When I think about this, I think about leadership as well. I saw Tony Sparano with the Miami Dolphins lead black and white men and women. I saw Coach Todd Bowles make the tough decision fast. I saw Pete Carroll rip up a script and start over because it wasn't working. This is not on the athlete. It's too much to bear. Why do we continue to put all the weight of the world on the athlete? This is not the athlete's responsibility. It is our responsibility to lead responsibly, but it's not our responsibility to carry this conversation. It starts with Mr. President, Donald Trump. Where are you? Where's the tweet? Why aren't you walking with us? Why aren't you standing with us? That's the beauty of professional sports. We see leadership play out every single day, the good, the bad, the ugly. It's on display no matter if you like it or if you don't. So when I think about this long-running theory of sports being a microcosm or sports being a reflection of society, I think about, well, society is broken. So, Jenna, it leads me to believe that sports should be broken too.
Nick, what was your reaction to everything that happened yesterday?
Yeah, I'm just incredibly sad. And, you know, Brandon, you just said, and listen, I apologize on the front end. We're going to get through this show. I'm going to do my best. You said, what seat do you occupy? And the seat I occupy is I'm a dad. I take this job incredibly seriously. I think everybody knows that. I love this job so much. But ultimately, I am a representation of my family and the people I love. And listen, I'm cloaked in all the privilege one can have. A white guy, public figure, there's came from a stable background, all that. But I got a 22-year-old, 6'4", incredibly handsome, big, intimidating to others black son, and a 15-year-old, beautiful black daughter who came to me yesterday in the kitchen talking about she was riding her bike yesterday past the cops and turned and went in the other direction. And I only say that in the context of this because I just thank the NBA players for doing what they can to try to make the world a better place for all of us and for our kids and our families. Because what America has unfortunately shown so clearly is there is a giant segment of the population that their care or concern with black people goes as far as they are willing to entertain them. And so you have some of the most powerful black people in America withholding what many people view as their only value to America. And I don't know what the end game here is, but I do know that many of these guys went to bed Sunday night, as I did, with the final images we saw on our phone was a man being shot in the back 7 times. And we woke up Wednesday morning, and the first information we got was some teenage vigilante had gone and murdered a couple people in the protests. And in the meantime, what we saw on our phones was folks trying to justify both instances. Justify the murder of Jacob Blake and justify the murder of the alleged murder that the Kyle Rittenhouse did. And it is so incredibly tough to ask 20-something to 30-something-year-old athletes, listen, it's on you to help move America forward. But no one else is stepping up in this void, and so it falls, as it very often has, on them. And so I appreciate the sacrifices they're making, and I hope that for folks that don't have a personal connection to what's going on, they understand that for many people, this is a life and death moment and a concern for the people you love that shakes you to your core. And so I don't know if anything I said there, Wilds, made any sense, but that's my reaction this morning.
It did, and I appreciate you sharing, and Brandon, thank you as well. I wanted to put some historical context on the events. I felt a tangible sense yesterday that I was witnessing an iconic moment in sports history and in the history of this country. And a little background, in 1959, Elgin Baylor of the then Minneapolis Lakers boycotted a game in West Virginia after he was told he couldn't stay at the same hotel as his white teammates. And then 2 years later, Casey Jones and Sam Jones, Satch Sanders, and a 27-year-old Bill Russell refused to play in a preseason game in West Virginia after being denied service at the team hotel. Bill Russell's now 86 years old.